Hey everyone, it's Kim and welcome back to Read It and Eat. If you're new to my channel, I focus on everything foodie and bookish, everything from stories about food, cozy culinary mysteries, or the chef memoir, and I'm here today to talk to you about Kat Cora's 2015 memoir, Cooking as Fast as I Can. So Cooking as Fast as I Can came out in 2015. It is just shy of 250 pages. I read the physical copy and bought it used from thriftbooks.com. So if you are someone like me who grew up in, I'd say, the prime of the Food Network, I was first introduced to Kat Cora through Iron Chef America. I'll actually put her picture here in her chef uniform because that might be the most, the way you recognize her versus something like this child on the front of the book. Honestly, I didn't know anything about Kat Cora before Iron Chef America and not much after when Iron Chef America ended running in the United States. So the memoir is a good deal of time and touches on all areas of her life. I would say in the upfront, there are some trigger warnings for sexual assault, abuse of a minor, and some suicidal and depressive tendencies. Kat Cora did not have an easy life and actually was adopted as a child, but raised by a very loving family. But something very pivotal happened in her childhood that really triggered, I'd say, her attitude of always working and always cooking as fast as I can. I'd say that Kat Cora was relatable. Growing up, she was a little bit of a wild child and had a good relationship, but wasn't quite sure what she wanted to do with her life. And after her sexual assault at a very young age, I think that also dampened her relationship with her family. It was hard. She's from the South, and it was just very hard at the time. And she internalized that it was her fault versus her abuser's fault. And very early on, also, she knew that she was gay. And in the South, that was not, Kat Cora is in her mid-50s now. So not the most well perceived, if you will. I mean, not that things are too much better right now, given what's going on in politics in the United States, but we're going to put that aside. Anyway, it takes Kat Cora a little bit of time to find her footing in what she wants to do in life, but does find that she wants to be a chef. It's very interesting to watch. Kat Cora self-describes as very passionate and fiery, and boy, she really is. She's also very stubborn and I think easily discouraged, which as a reader, it's hard to talk about memoirs because you don't want to bash a human being. But there were so many times where she would dive headfirst into things without plans, and then when they didn't go her way right at the get-go, she would run away or get frustrated. And it was very frustrating as a reader to watch. But I do think that Kat Cora acknowledges that throughout her journey and actually gets help, which is kind of refreshing to see. But for a quick description of Kat Cora grew up in Jackson, Mississippi, and attended the Culinary Institute of America. After the Food Network discovered her in 1999, she went on to become the first female Iron Chef. She is the founder of the charitable organization Chefs for Humanity, and she has built a brand that includes food lines, cookware, and restaurants around the globe. She lives in Santa Barbara with her 4 sons, and for more information, you can visit her website at katcora.com. Remember that the back of the book, the blurb, comes from 2015. I do have to say, actually, mentioning that she has built a line of cookware, restaurants, and food lines, that is something that's touched about in the book, that it was actually kind of frowned upon when Kat Cora was coming on, that she was signing up for all of these partnerships and cookware lines and deals, that people really looked down on her for it. And I'm not sure if it was because she was a woman or the time, but it was just something that really jumped out to me in the book. Meanwhile, in the time when she's an Iron Chef, you have Mario Batali, you have, Bobby Flay and Masaharu Morimoto. I think part of the reason she was looked down upon for it was that, or at least how she interpreted that, is at the time in the early 90s, Kat Cora didn't have her own restaurant for quite a while. Now, she was the leading chef to many restaurants, but she didn't own her own for quite many years into her career. I would say that this book does a really good job of balancing the stories of her personal life and also her success. She does get married and have multiple children with her partner, Jen. They actually carry each other's embryos with an anonymous sperm donor and go on to have 4 4 boys, which is a lot, especially while Cora at some point is traveling nearly 290 days of the year while Jen is at home with the boys. And this, as her career is taking off, it brings tension into the marriage because she is not around. And it does result later towards the end of the book with Cora getting a DUI because she has a fight with her partner. Her partner literally gets out of the car and walks away, and Cora drives herself home and gets pulled over. So this book has a lot of passion, but a lot of tumultuous moments. I mean, I don't think any time in Cora's life it was easy for her. There's definitely times where she runs out of money. She's abroad and she's out of money and she comes home. She's trying to figure out, she moves. She told me this, there's something in this book which I didn't know was a common trope, I guess, but that lesbians, when they're dating, move in with each other after 6 months. I did not know this cliche existed till I read the book. But she kind of does that and gets her into trouble sometimes with some not so great partners that are not great for them, each other long term. It is a fun book. It is sad also as well, I think. It was nice to also see where Cora's inspiration comes from, which was really her cooking style came from like her grandparents, and being able to go back to Greece and seeing all of these traditional cuisines. I didn't know that was where like Cora's cooking style came from. So it was really cool to look into that and learn about it. It was also interesting to know that her start came before Iron Chef America. She had other cooking stints on the Food Network, and a lot of it was an episode at a time, or a series would be ordered for one series, 15 episodes, but then they wouldn't get renewed. I'm sorry, I'm stumbling over my words today. So it was very hit or miss for Cora, a lot of insecurity, a lot of instability. And I think that anxiety and trauma from her sexual assault as a child, I mean, she talks about it, it carries into everything that she does. And she really hits a breaking point later in her life where she goes and she knows that she needs to get help. But ultimately, it was a really great story. It ends in 2015, 2016. So prior to the pandemic, and she's still working through her relationship problems with her wife, Jennifer. Now, spoiler, it's 2023. You can go to Cora's Wikipedia page and see what's going on. She and Jennifer ultimately end up with a divorce. She ends up getting remarried, but I also think she divorced her second wife in 2021. So it hasn't been the easiest time for Cora. At the same time, she is 55, maybe. Like, she's got plenty of life left in her and still actively cooks. I remember that when Cora showed up on Tournament of Champions, the kind of bracket level cooking competition that Guy Fieri hosts, when Cora showed up, it was a really big deal. She was the first Iron Chef to show up on the Tournament of Champions, and the level of respect that the other chefs had for her, especially the female chefs, was really amazing to see, because Cora is really not on TV or not on the Food Network that much anymore. There have been since newer Iron Chefs that have come in. I have a whole review also about the Iron Chef show on Netflix, which is like kind of the continuation, but different than what Iron Chef America was on the Food Network. So I'll link that whole video up above. I haven't actually covered the Tournament of Champions show on my channel, but if you guys are interested to learn more about some of the cooking shows and maybe that relationship with the Food Network or what happened, let me know, because I actually have a couple books behind me all about the Food Network and the history of the Food Network as a channel that I would love to review for you guys and maybe compare to some of the most well-known cooking shows from the Food Network as well. You guys let me know down below. So after Iron Chef America, Cora did go on to co-host a show called Around the World in 80 Plates. It was on, where was it? It was with Curtis Stone, and I think it was on Bravo TV. Yeah, it was. Sorry, I'm looking it up on my phone. It was on Bravo TV, but it was never renewed for another show. But that show was in 2012. And let's see, what else has she done? So Cora did end up, she does have 2 restaurants. Cora's Q in Costa Mesa, California from 2008 to now. She has Cora's Kitchen in San Francisco, 2011 present. She also had a couple of different little restaurants that showed up like in airports, which was also another model that I think during the book it's briefly touched on, that people look down on that franchisee model. I mean, whatever. Do whatever you want to do. So some of those earlier shows that you might not have met Cora on prior to becoming an Iron Chef was Food Network's The Melting Pot. Her co-host was Rocco DiSpirito, which, by the way, I would love to read a memoir by Rocco DiSpirito. Let's see. She also appeared in My Country, My Kitchen in an episode for Greece, since her family was from Greece. and kitchen accomplished. Let's see. She joined the Iron Chef team in 2005. She did that show in 2012, and then she co-hosted the 2017 Fox reality cooking series, My Kitchen Rules. And that's it. So she really hasn't done too much TV since, I'd say, the Iron Chef America franchise ended. She did, I mentioned, competed in the 2021 Tournament of Champions, which was a really cool thing to watch. And how many cookbooks does Cat Cora have now? 2? Yeah, I see 2 here. So Cat Cora has had a pretty interesting and vivid career, but I think is one that maybe we don't talk about as much despite being the first female Iron Chef. So it was nice to read her memoir, and I hope now that she competed in 2021, we'll see more of Cat Cora on TV again, because I quite like her. I like her Greek influences. She also loves Cajun cooking. She often fuses the two together. So let me know, did you guys know who Cat Cora was? Did you grow up with Iron Chef America like I did? And did you know about any of her other shows? Because I honestly didn't. I didn't know about the show on Fox. I didn't know that she co-hosted a show with Rocco DiSpirito. I would love to just also learn more about Rocco DiSpirito. I know this is a whole review on Cat Cora, but that is a chef's name that I'm like, I wonder what that guy's been up to. He's written a ton of cookbooks, and he was really, really huge in New York City and then burnt out pretty badly. So I digress. If anyone knows about Rocco DiSpirito books, hit me up down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this quick but slightly all over the place review of Cat Cora's Cooking as Fast as I Can. I think it is worth the read if you're okay reading about sexual assault and, you know, the sexual abuse of a minor, so keep that in mind. Let me know, is there another chef celebrity or chef's memoir that I should read next and review? Hit me up in the comments below. I'll see you next time. I hope you're reading something awesome and eating something delicious. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.